what did we learn from our first RV trip? I wanted to talk about it a little bit and see what did you learn, or what did we learn? What can we tell everybody out there that's maybe never RV'd and want to know what we learned from our first trip? So what do you think you learned from your first RV trip?
I think we need to tie things up in the RV because my daughter's bed just kept falling over because she's got dresser drawers underneath her bed. And I guess they just like all came out, and because they all came out, it always flip, and it was just like it broke the dresser drawers. So I think I've seen people putting like hooks like from one wall to the other with like bungee cords across, so that like if the drawers, like it would catch the drawers if they fell. So like
Yeah, so
yeah,
and it was
put
more
more
of an
bungee cords places.
but it was more of an issue because when we took the slide out, every time we took the slide out, that's when everything would fall. So
No, it was falling. It was falling.
was it?
Yeah.
I thought I saw it when. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. So what else? That's it?
That's my biggest takeaway. I'm like, that's all I'm thinking about the next road trip. I'm like, I'm just constantly thinking about bungee cords because, yeah.
Well, for me, I think, just driving this thing, like that was one thing.
You learned a lot more than me.
Yeah. But I think for me it was like just the comfort of now being able to drive it. Like I backed it in before, and the backing in is just like, yeah, it can be stressful because you're like, oh, but it's like you're already at your destination. So you're like, if I don't care. If I like have to take, 20 minutes to do it, whatever. But for me, it was like just the driving of it. And I'm sure it's just like, that was the biggest deal.
You were so intimidated
Yeah.
by it. I'm trying to not say that he was a scaredy cat. He was like losing sleep. He was stressed out, man. Like it was a big
Yeah.
deal. Like he thought he's like thinking like I got all these lives in my hands and stuff. And so, but he
Yeah.
now it's not as intimidating though.
No.
Now that you like did it, it's not as scary anymore.
And that is the thing that I feel like the Lord showed me through it. Being a believer, that's like one thing that like in this world, you get to like conquer these things in life, but you know that like there's always a lesson in it. You're always like learning something.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest like lessons my whole life that I've always struggled with is change.
Yes.
And it's just something that really like affects me to the core. And I think it's because like when I was brought up like raised in New York, and then I moved from New York down to Florida, and it was during high school, and it really like affected me. So I think like any change, like it's something that I have to like go back sometimes and just get healing in, because any kind of change, like I'm just like, oh yeah, I don't want to deal with that, and I think
Yeah.
that was the big thing for me. It was like,
Yeah, even moving into the RV was hard, and then now doing this, it was really difficult for you. Another lesson I think I would say is being more prepared. Like we just were like, yeah, we're gonna leave on like Saturday morning. I don't even remember what day it was. We're gonna leave on Saturday morning, and we're just gonna do everything the morning of and just get out of here. Like we should have just like started preparing a little bit, like maybe the night before, and then like, but coming back it was a lot easier. But I think just doing a little bit of things like setting up. We have like a little garage under fifth wheel now, and so like just preparing, like moving things in order like the night before, and not doing everything the day of when you're trying to get out and get on the road, because there's just so many variables.
And I get it now, like people that move around a lot, that it just doesn't phase them as much.
Yeah.
Because when I thought, I was like, I could never move like every 2 to 3 weeks.
But it's
now,
not that bad.
I'm like, oh, okay, now I kind of get it. Because you just are so accustomed to just, okay, this is what needs to be done.
Yeah.
But like we were like, what needs to be done?
Yeah.
Like, so,
We didn't know anything.
so we're like, okay, and then that's why beds are falling and dressers are breaking and all types of stuff like that. But we did get some cues from our friends and whatnot. But it's still, I totally get now. Like you can really pack up your stuff like in an hour. I can see that.
Yeah, you can, but I think even still, just doing a little bit the night before, it's really not that daunting. It's actually just not bad. Like if we were to ever do like the 1,000 trails, a lot of people do 1,000 trails, and it's this you move every 2 weeks,
Yeah,
right?
2 to 3 sometimes.
2 to
3,
3
yeah.
weeks, but it's like you pay like $200 for the year, and then you go to like luxury
Yeah.
camp, like resort, like RV parks, and you don't ever have to pay for anything when you're there.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
And I'm like, I would do that, but then I'm always like, I don't want to leave community. Like my thing is, I'm still in my hometown. We've never even like left our home.
Right.
I'm born and raised in my hometown.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
I can't leave. It's
Yeah.
so difficult. So just pick, but I think I could do it for like maybe a couple months out of the year. Do like the 1,000 trails and just kind of
Yeah.
just bop around a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Bop.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's just a couple. That's a couple of things that we learned doing our first RV trip, and I'm sure there's going to be many more. You know, we definitely want to visit some family up in North Florida. We want to go over to the West Coast, visit some friends. Like, there's just definitely, you know, more opportunity now for us to do that. And you know, anyway, so I think, yeah. So did God show you anything specific?
It was just like just watching you. I think God showed me a lot through Kenny. Just you know, your husband
how
being
nervous I was.
so afraid and like, and I'm just like, what's
That's
the
what
big
I
deal?
don't want to be
Yeah.
like. Yeah. No.
No, but it is. I mean, everything's on his back, all of us, and the RV and the truck, everything, you know. And he didn't. This was new to him, and I want to be better at being there for him, and
You were.
I was.
Did good. Yeah, totally.
Good.
Well, you're the one that really pushed me, and that's what's so.
Well, I'm good at that.
You are
I'm
good
good
at
at
that.
pushing you, but
You're
I
good
want
at
to be a
pushing
more
me into
compassionate
into a
wife.
discomfort, though, you know. And she's done that our whole marriage. You
But
know.
I'm you know, I'm thinking about that. I do push you, but I do always try, and I don't know if I pass the test all the time, but I do always try as I'm pushing you to always bring like encouragement, like with it,
Yeah.
so that you feel like you have power, like you feel
Yeah.
like you can accelerate.
It's true, but
It's not just like pushing you off a cliff and just being
No.
like, oh, you're just a coward.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you push. You know, that's what's so beautiful about how God has designed marriage. You know, your wife or your husband. You know, where you lack, they fill up. You know, so like she knows my weaknesses and I know her weaknesses. So you're always there to help one another out. And that in this situation you did, because honestly, I probably would never have gone. I wouldn't. I would have just been like, no,
I
we're
felt
good.
a push from the Holy Spirit to do it. We didn't have to this time, and it was only 2-hour travel, but I really felt a push from the Holy Spirit. I felt like God really was telling us to get acquainted with this. I don't know why, and that it's not as scary as we think it is. And now that we've done it, we're like, we could totally do this again. By the way, Kenny just he has his own business now, traveling and making content for businesses or churches or whatever. So if you guys
Video.
want us to go videography, he wants to make documentaries. He wants to do more for the kingdom with it. We want to show people what's going on, like with missionaries overseas, and just a lot of content he wants to create. Not we, but we're one. But so if you guys want us to travel anywhere, or you want us to come to you anywhere in the country, we'll come to you.
Yeah,
We'll make it a family vacation.
That kind of leads to the last thing we want to say. If you stuck around this long, we are going to devote more time to this channel. I think with our transition in life, we kind of fell on the wayside, but we do want to start doing podcasts again, and we want to start doing like a video kind of podcast, more stuff for the church. And we have like just amazing people in our life that just nobody knows about, you know, and what God's doing in the kingdom and local areas by us, and even down south in South Florida and all over. And we just really want people to see these things and hear these people and these testimonies and the conversations and just what the Holy Spirit's doing in the church right now.
Yeah.
And we just want you guys to see it and hear about it and just see where God takes it, So be praying for us. And if you're along for the ride, we're going to be dropping some new content soon. I mean, we're probably going to start working on it next week. So
Yeah, I think this weekend we're probably going to start working on content.
yeah, so stick around for that. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, hit that like button, leave a comment. That boosts the algorithm so it gets to more people.
Please.
And if you do that, then more people get to see this, more people get to share it, and that's it. So until next time, Grace and
Grace
peace.
and peace.